What's up, dudes? I'm sure you've seen these questions before and thought, what the? Let me try to help. So I wanted to make a guide that will show you actually how to find information that people tell you to go look at. I basically combined everything that I've used to both clear heroic in the first couple of weeks, to getting cutting edge, to just iterating on my character on a weekly basis. So I hope anything in this video helps you even a little bit. Thanks for watching. So I just want to touch on UIs really quickly in this video. The biggest thing being I don't recommend ElvUI. I'm a huge proponent of building your own. You learn a ton and you don't feel overwhelmed with all the options that ElvUI brings. And you can just simply get your add-ons by either going to CurseForge or WowUp. I know there's been some debate between the two, but I use both. So the keybinds I want to show you is more of a priority and what you should be binding before anything else and actually using them. Getting used to all of these buttons is going to help you tremendously. Okay, so you don't know what you don't know. The first thing you should know, though, is to go visit your class Discord. But there's some etiquette to follow. Every Discord channel has a fact page. Always check that first. Secondly, you can go into like any channel and make sure you check the pins. Super important. They have so much info. Class Discords are like a living, breathing wiki. And lastly, if you want to search something, just go ahead and search it. There's probably been a discussion on it. And if that fails, only then ask your question. So another way to see in real time what people are doing and using on any fight ever is going to logs. I'm just going to show you how to get to your own log if you have one. So this is what a standard log page looks like. You can actually just click on anybody's name. I, for whatever reason, went to the summary tab, but just click on any name, go back to the summary tab, and you could see the breakdown of exactly what they used. You can see their stat breakdown, you can see their talents, you can see their conduits, you can see their gear, their enchants, how many times they've casted spells. It's just a really nice way to see what people are actually doing on the fight. Something else you should constantly be doing just to see what people are doing on fights is going back to the homepage, going over to the menu, going over to whatever the current raid is, and sorting out whatever your class is. What you'll see here is a summary of all of the top parses. And while parses aren't super important to me, what I want to gather from this is basically an idea of what people are using on any fight. And what I showed you earlier is you can actually click into these people, go into the summary, and just kind of see a breakdown of everything they did and used. Now, something else people don't usually talk about or show you is subcreation.net. This actually gives you that same information, but compiled and aggregated. So it's easier to digest across all of these fights and classes, and gives a breakdown of not only like talents and whatnot, but like the entire build and the aggregate that's used across everybody. So that's what you see from these kind of percentages and so on and so forth. So this is another great tool to just gather information that you want to see. You could actually do the same thing here for dungeons. So if you're a Mythic Plus player, you can do the exact same thing, but across dungeons. Okay, so now you know how to find all of the information about your class and what people are using, and then somebody tells you, oh, go sim yourself instead. Well, what does that mean, and how do I do that? Because the problem the majority of the time is you see that you don't have the gear that some people do have. So how do you maximize what you actually have? All you need to do is download SimCraft, type in /simc into your chat, copy the big wall of text that appears, and go over to raid bots. You're going to select top gear. You're going to paste that wall of text into this box. It's going to load your character, all your talents, every piece of loot that's in your bags. And then all you need to do is select everything that you want to sim. You can select multiple enchant options, multiple gem options, multiple talent options. And the defaults you see are what you want to leave on for 95% of scenarios. If there's anything specific you actually need to sim, your class Discord will tell you that. And I think the biggest piece of advice I could give you is never sim Dungeon Slice. It's terrible. Just don't do it. I don't know why it's there. And then you just get this nice summary of all of the best options and what you should use and what enchants you should switch out. It's a great tool that's going to maximize what you actually have in your bags. So now that you've got your character figured out, the next thing we have to do is actually learn the fights. While the dungeon journal is okay to see the abilities, it doesn't really show you anything. So my number one suggestion to anybody is go use Mythic Trap. It's so good and so well done that I don't think there's anything that even comes close to this. It shows you GIFs of all of the abilities, so you actually get like visual cues. It shows you abilities and what they do, and it gives you actually like how you should play out the fight if you don't really know how to. And the same can be said for dungeons. They do the same thing. So if you're, again, a Mythic Plus player and you want to learn the dungeons, here you go. Okay, so now you think, I've got my character set, I know the fights, but I'm somehow still not improving. My logs kind of suck. What am I doing wrong, and how do I fix that? While this isn't going to be a Warcraftlogs like total review, I will show you something really cool that you could do to just compare yourself, literally. You can go to any log, go to the compare tab at the very top right, select anybody, even yourself, that you want to view, and then do a search. You can fiddle with the filters if you want, but leave them on by default, and you're going to get a list of people that did very well on said fight and matched closest to what you were probably doing. So go ahead and select any of these logs. At the time of this video, I think Warcraftlogs released a new update, but just click into any of the logs that appear. You're gonna see a side-by-side view. Just go ahead and select yourself at the top left where it says all friendlies, and then also select another person with a different color icon next to their name so that their log appears to the right. What this will end up doing is showing literally a comparison breakdown, and then you can also go over to summary and just see how your talents compare to theirs. You can see your casts versus their casts. You can, if you're a Warcraftlogs guru, you can check where their meta timings were or other CD timings were. But I'm going to show you another really great tool that allows you to kind of see what people did at a very high level. And so this brings me to the point of learning your timings for your CDs. It's kind of a really big, important thing in WoW that nobody really explains. So just go ahead and read this disclaimer really carefully first, and then we'll get into it. This website is called Lorgs. I probably butchered the name, but who cares? But what it does is it gives you a breakdown of the top 50 parses on any boss, and I filtered it down using the settings at the top to just show really simply, okay, this is where people meta'd and where they use their potions, right? So what this gives you is an idea of literally where people use their cooldowns. They use it at this time, at that time, right before this ability, during this ability. It's really helpful to see where and how people use CDs. Now, you're probably wondering why I didn't recommend Wowhead or Icy Veins. And while I'm trying to keep everything really condensed in this video, the short answer is how quickly the guides become outdated. And Discord is just a much better way to get the information that you need faster. And combining that with Warcraftlogs, it's just a much superior way to figure out what you should be doing and how you should be doing things versus copying and pasting from an outdated source. Okay, so I know a lot of this has been super high level, but trust me when I say this, if you use anything here, you're going to be better than 90% of any WoW player I've ever seen. So let me know what you thought. And remember to just blast.